Marcus didn't sleep for the rest of the night. The doorknob kept rattling softly outside his room until sunrise. Sometimes it stopped for several minutes before slowly turning again. But Adrian never forced the door open. When morning finally came, the hallway outside was empty. Marcus stepped downstairs carefully. Adrian stood in the kitchen pouring coffee like nothing had happened. "You look tired," Adrian said calmly. Marcus stared at him. "What are you?" Adrian paused slightly. Then he lifted the coffee mug. "A difficult question." Marcus backed away. "I saw the mirror." Adrian's expression darkened. "I hoped you wouldn't notice so quickly." Marcus grabbed his car keys immediately. "I'm leaving." "You can." Marcus stopped near the door. "But?" Adrian looked directly into his eyes. "You'll come back." Marcus drove straight to work, shaking uncontrollably. The image of the empty mirror replayed inside his head over and over again. No reflection, no shadow, nothing. That night he refused to go back to the house. Instead, he rented a cheap motel near the highway. At 2:14 a.m., his phone buzzed. Unknown number. Marcus ignored it. Then another message arrived. "You forgot your jacket." A photo appeared beneath the text. Marcus felt his stomach drop. It was a picture of his motel room door taken from outside. Slowly, Marcus turned toward the window. A tall silhouette stood beyond the curtains, watching him. Marcus grabbed the bedside lamp as a weapon and rushed outside. Nobody was there. The parking lot sat completely empty beneath the rain. His phone buzzed again. "You shouldn't run from me." Marcus drove all night until he reached Orlando. He checked into another motel and shoved a chair beneath the doorknob. At exactly 4 a.m., someone knocked softly, 3 slow taps. Marcus held his breath. Then Adrian's voice came through the door. "Marcus." Silence. "Please let me in." Marcus didn't move. "I only want to talk." The voice sounded calm, human, but Marcus stayed frozen. Eventually the knocking stopped. When sunrise came, Marcus opened the door carefully. The hallway was empty, but written across the door in wet black letters were the words, "You invited me in." Marcus called the police later that day, but they treated him like a paranoid drug addict. No evidence, no intruder, no records. When Marcus finally returned to Jacksonville with 2 officers, the house stood abandoned. Dust covered every surface. Furniture sat beneath white sheets. The entire place looked empty for years. "This house has been vacant a long time," one officer muttered. Marcus pointed upstairs desperately. "My room was right there." The officer opened the door. Inside was nothing except rotten floorboards and spiderwebs. Marcus felt dizzy. "No, that's impossible." Then he noticed something carved into the wall. Deep scratches. 3 words. "He always comes back." Marcus moved out of Florida a week later. He rented a tiny apartment in Atlanta and tried rebuilding his life. For several months, everything seemed normal again. No messages, no sightings, no Adrian. Marcus slowly convinced himself he'd imagined everything. Until one rainy night, he came home from work and noticed the apartment strangely cold. The TV flickered with static, and 2 steaming coffee mugs sat on the kitchen table. Marcus froze. Then the bathroom door slowly creaked open behind him. Adrian stepped out. Same pale face, same emotionless eyes, untouched by time. "You left very suddenly," Adrian whispered. Marcus stumbled backward. "How are you here?" Adrian smiled faintly. "You invited me into your life." Marcus ran for the front door. Before he could reach it, the lights exploded. Glass shattered everywhere. Darkness swallowed the apartment. Then footsteps began circling him slowly. "You know what I am now," Adrian whispered from the darkness. Marcus trembled. "No." "Yes." A freezing hand touched his shoulder. "I died in that house a very long time ago." Marcus slowly turned. For the first time, Adrian no longer looked human. His skin appeared gray, rotten. Dark stains spread across his shirt collar like dried blood. "They left me there," Adrian whispered. Inside the crawl space beneath the house, Marcus couldn't move. For years, nobody found me. The apartment walls creaked loudly around them. Do you know what loneliness becomes after death? Shadows stretched unnaturally across the ceiling. Marcus backed away. "What do you want from me?" Adrian stared silently for several seconds. Then finally, "I don't want to be alone anymore." Suddenly, the apartment lights returned. Adrian vanished. The next morning, Marcus drove back to Jacksonville alone. He entered the abandoned house carrying a flashlight and crowbar. The smell inside felt worse now. Rotten, wet, dead. Marcus found the crawlspace door beneath the stairs, locked. His hands shook violently as he forced it open. The smell nearly made him vomit. Then the flashlight landed on bones, human bones, a skeleton wearing decayed black clothing. Beside it sat an old wallet. Inside was a Florida ID, Adrian Vale. Marcus immediately called the police anonymously before leaving. That night, while staying at a nearby hotel, he heard soft knocking at midnight. He already knew who it was. "You found me," Adrian said through the door. Marcus slowly opened it. Adrian stood in the hallway looking weaker somehow, almost transparent. "You were trapped there?" Marcus asked quietly. "Yes." "Why me?" Adrian looked down the empty hallway. "You answered." Marcus swallowed hard. "You could have hurt me any time." "Yes, but you didn't." Adrian's expression darkened. "I tried not to remember what I became after death." Marcus noticed genuine pain in his eyes now. "Were you killing people?" Adrian remained silent. That silence answered everything. The hallway lights flickered. Cold wind moved through the corridor. Adrian's body slowly began fading. "I think finding my body means I can finally leave," he whispered. Before disappearing completely, Adrian looked at Marcus one last time. "Thank you for seeing me." Then he vanished forever. Police later identified the remains officially. News reports revealed Adrian Vale disappeared in 1998 after renting a room from a man named Calvin Rhodes. Investigators eventually discovered Rhodes had murdered multiple tenants over several years before dying in prison. The crawl space beneath the house had never been searched properly. Marcus tried moving on after that, and for years he succeeded, until one night in Chicago. Rain tapped softly against his apartment window while Marcus searched online apartment listings after another rent increase. Then suddenly, one listing caught his eye. Private room available, quiet neighborhood, cheap rent, utilities included. Marcus felt cold all over. There was only one blurry photo attached. And beneath the listing, the contact name read, Adrian Vale.